and welcome back to THU TV from beautiful, sunny, gorgeous Troia here in Portugal. I'm joined here by Marcos, who is running a site that's helping people to do drawing tutorials, and I'm going to talk to him about how the business and the education piece fit together, and I'm super excited about that. So Marcos, can you tell us a little bit about your career so far? What have you been up to, and how did we end up here?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, thank you very much for this interview.
Absolutely.
And this opportunity is quite nice to be here in THU. It's amazing that stuff that you do every year. So thank you very much for it.
Awesome.
For this. So I've been in the video game industry like for 6 years, like as a concept artist. And also then I've been like 4 years until now being a teacher, drawing teacher. And I found a website where I teach how to draw in Spanish, because in Spanish there are any very good resources about how to start to get into this industry.
Right.
So the website
How do you draw in Spanish?
Yeah,
You
well,
use a Spanish pen?
no.
I'm kidding.
But you know, in English there are a lot of good resources, but there's people like they don't know how to speak in English. So I get that weakness of the situation, and I made my trick, speaking in Spanish and teaching them how to draw.
Awesome. So whereabouts are you based?
What?
Where are you based?
In Spain, in Mallorca.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And so, how long has this site been running?
Like in February, it's gonna be like 5 years.
Okay.
So.
And how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. Step by step, you know, it's when you are alone and you start to make like a project like that, and you have to learn how to make a website in WordPress, how to edit video, how to sales goes, and a lot of this technical stuff. It's a crazy stuff because I was an artist and I had to learn that in the ways to survive. You know, it's been like very slowly, but going good, going well. Yeah.
So, does the site make money?
Yeah.
Do people have to pay to learn from you?
Well, I sell tutorials, but also I do a lot of free stuff. So I have a lot of videos in YouTube, which you can see them
Just advertising, so you make money that way.
Yeah, but no, the YouTube doesn't. If you, at least that you have a lot of followers,
Right.
There is not too much money there. But there is visibility and credibility. If the people that look to your videos see that you are talking nice, you are a nice person, you are talking right things,
they can help.
and you do the stuff good, they believe in you, and so they start to learn.
Right.
You know.
So, what's the difference between a good and a bad tutorial?
Wow, that's a very tricky question. If you know, if you are able, or you can teach, so you know something when you can show it to your grandmom, and she understand that you are talking about. So I try to keep that as that simple. To if I talk to my grandmother, so you have to do that, then that she would understand that. So
it's breaking it down to the steps and explaining each way, thing along the way.
Well, you have to fit in different levels of difficulties, but if you are doing like a beginner tutorial, you have to be very clear, because if you don't do that, you lose them into the basis, into the basis. So that's the worst thing.
So what is your most popular tutorials?
Well,
what do people want to learn?
One of to make like coloring in the anime style, which anime is so popular, and it's pretty easy, and it's the very good way to start to coloring.
Okay.
So another one is one of perspective, which is the basis, but yeah, both, yeah, those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And people find you how? What, do you do any marketing, or is it all just word of mouth? And
Yeah, the way that I started that website, which is dibujarbian.com, which is in Spanish word. Also,
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Which means drawing well.
Okay.
Something like that. It's
Yeah.
very clear, pretty clear. At the beginning, my idea was put my name, but at that step, anyone knows me, so it's a silly it would be a very silly decision.
Right.
So if you keep it very simple, you get results very fast. So the thing is, I was studying SEO to make my website easy to find. I give into the YouTube channel a lot of good stuff for free. So it's like you have a shop and you offer a lot of good products for free, and test it. You like it?
Yep.
I have more.
Yeah.
So
So here's a really good tutorial to do this, and I have 4 others that you have to pay for. But
Yeah.
So what do people have to pay for a tutorial?
now like near or 50 euros.
50. And
Yes.
are they like subscriptions, or do you buy a pack, or do you buy all of them? Or?
You can buy like by Gumroad,
Okay.
the kind of these platforms. They are so useful because then you don't have to make extra effort into the website or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so how does that work from your point of view? Obviously, it went from a passion project and is now a business. Has that been interesting? Because I believe you mentioned before we started interviewing that you are an artist at heart, right? And so you had to learn all these new skills around how to build a website, how to edit video, how to actually how to be a teacher, I guess. Maybe that comes natural to you, but and all these bits that you had to learn to kind of pull together. Was the business side easy, or is that something you've had to learn as well?
Well, yeah, that's a hell, man. that's a hell, because if you have a very artist mindset, then it's so difficult be a businessman, change to the businessman mindset. You know, you have to be as much heart you have, you are worst businessman. So it's like a negotiation with yourself.
Right.
And try, for example, I started to give everything for free and contact the very big companies and make them pay me money to
Like
talk
sponsorship,
about,
right.
like the big ones in software and hardware. And okay, you have the money, I have the knowledge, pay me, and I talk about your product, that stuff. But in that point, I was like too little and in Spanish, so I didn't get the support. So I should have to start to sell and was with pain, because it's like, I think that the culture and knowledge should to be free. But then there is a point which is the free stuff that you give. There's not the people usually they don't take they don't give them a value, the free stuff, because it's like, oh, it's free.
Right.
It's a tricky situation, and it's very hard. Yeah.
So how many people have you taught so far?
With the companies.
In the school, how many people have you taught how to draw?
Oof, I cannot remember.
Hundreds? Thousands?
Yeah. Hundreds. Yeah. And the website it's going pretty good. So I have been like 2 million people pass through the website, and in YouTube I have like 180,000 followers.
Awesome.
Which is a pretty
good,
amount of
that's solid,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. There's actually I want to imagine that in football, it's that amount of people that they cannot fit in any football stadium in the world.
Right.
So it's like, whoa.
That's a good number of people.
Yeah. And they are interested to learn to draw, which is it's nice, because the institutions, the educational system doesn't care about art, and it's a shame,
Yeah.
And as an artist, we have that responsibility to throw in lights in that dark spots of the society, and show you how start to think. It's not only to do beautiful things or nice designs, if you can make them think about that kind of stuff, you are being successful. You know.
That's amazing. And so, why are you doing this?
Well, it project starts with a very sad situation. When I quit of my company, my idea was go another place in the world, learn another language, meet new people, start to learning more things for other artists. But I have a very, very sad situation in my family, so suddenly I couldn't go anywhere. So okay, I'm stuck in Mallorca, which there is no industry. I have no clients. So what can I do? So I start to think, and okay, I've learned a lot with tutorials and with my teachers, and I'm very thankful of that people. So maybe I can return the favor to the life. And I decided, okay, let's found a website and let's sell tutorials. And because I was like doing some teaching class before, so I realized that I like it and I could do it in a very good way. So I started with that. But I thought that it could be easier, and it's not.
It's not easier.
No, not at all.
Do you regret it?
No, because I have even people or males, and I realized that I'm not teaching. I'm not only teaching drawing. I'm changing lives. Sounds a little pretentious, but it's what it is. So a lot of people start to learn art, quit their university careers, and start to learn art. Even an old man write me with 60 something, and hello Marcos, how are you? I've been always drawing since I was diagnosticated with Parkinson's disease, and I stopped to draw. But I show your videos, and you motivated me to start to draw again. So thank you, because I'm from Argentina. Maybe we cannot meet each other never, but thank you for that. So those kind of messages is like, well, I cannot quit that.
Right.
I cannot quit
You're
to do
trapped
that.
now.
Yeah. I'm dealing with the situation to be an artist and a teacher, and now as a teacher, I'm very proud. I'm very strong, but my side of my artist side is a little bit fighting against me, because he wants to be better artist.
Okay.
So
So how do you become a better artist? What could you do?
it's more time drawing. So
Right.
I have to balance my life to have more time to draw and look for any creative solution to earn money while I'm drawing more. So,
So what is taking up your time then?
what?
Why are you not able to draw more?
Because I'm taking time for the business and thinking about stuff. But as a creative person, we have to use that power not only to create drawings or music or something like that. You have to use that creativity to solve solution in a good way. So maybe I will start to doing like 1 week at month for the website and business, and then 3 weeks at month to draw and make very good stuff. Because if I don't improve my own skills, how can I teach more?
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
you feel bad against that. So you have to be bigger, sorry, and then you can you will have more strength to push the other people with you.
Would it be possible for you to find a freelancer to take some of the stuff off your plate?
Can you repeat, please?
Is it possible for you to find a freelancer who can help you with the business side, with maybe the editing or
Yeah.
So you don't have
also,
to.
Yeah. Also, I have a guy with which was one of my first pupils, which is with me helping like almost 3 years, but short amount of hours. And yeah, with that situation, he's becoming better and better with that help, and also he is an artist. So he starts to teach how to do the 3D side because he's very good doing 3D. It's Miguel Zotes, and thanks of that situation, I will have more time to improve my drawing skills. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really important thing, though. I mean, with any business, right? You run into roadblocks, and you feel that there are things happening where you go, something isn't working, right? And as I said, I think in one of these other interviews I did, is sometimes there is something that you just cannot get good at, right?
Yeah.
For me, for example, I'm terrible at sales. If I do my best, I'm out of a scale from 0 to 10, I'm maybe a 3.
Yeah.
That's my best. I can't ever be better than a 3 because I hate doing it. I don't like it. I don't want to get better at it. I just whenever I sit down, it's horrible, right?
Yeah.
But somebody who's really, really good at it, they don't even have to try that hard, and they can be a 7.
Yeah.
Right? They go, I can do this. Pick up the phone, talk to people. I'm like, that's horrible. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is one of the most important things you will learn in business, right?
Yeah.
Is finding people who kind of round out what you need in the business, that stuff you're not that good at. So you found your one partner who's also starting to do the 3D tutorials, and those are really powerful partnerships, really powerful things, because I think for the longest time I made the mistake of thinking me doing something for an hour is the same as somebody else doing something for an hour.
Yeah.
But that is bullshit, right? I couldn't draw to save my life. If I wanted something drawing, I could spend 10 hours, I couldn't get it good, or I could give you a pen and pencil and you'd be 5 minutes, be like, shh.
Yeah. That's right.
I think it's playing to those skill sets is a really important part of, actually not even that, learning how to trust other people.
Yeah, that's the
that.
point. Because sometimes you think always that I could do it better, but you have to do it.
Right.
If you have to delegate, you have to trust in people, and okay, maybe it's not me doing that, but I can be doing another thing which is more useful, and I will enjoy more. So,
or even if it doesn't get as good as you would have done it, right? It's like it'll be, instead of a 5, it'll be a 4, but it means I get 3 hours of drawing.
Yeah, we usually make that mistake, searching the perfection. Point 1, art is not perfection. Then, perfection, it doesn't exist. And point 3, perfection is not, in Spanish it's rentable. So it's like there's no profitable in economic terms.
Right.
Because you don't finish ever your task because it's not perfect. Good is okay.
Yeah. Well,
And
but
then
that's the
another
thing, right?
thing.
It takes you 10 hours to get to 90%, and it takes another 10 hours to get to 100%.
Yeah.
And if 90% is good enough, then save your time.
Yeah. That's true.
I think that's true for a lot of things. That's true for a lot of things in business. That's true for a lot of things in art.
Those 4 years doing that business, I learned more in 4 years than in my entire life, because there are a lot of concepts, because I get a lot of struggles doing that, because sometimes there are something that I don't like, but I have to do it, or learn how to trust others to, okay, do that, and keep moving it. And it's like you have to be passionate. If you lose your passion, you lose the people who is looking at you, and you lose the credibility.
Yeah.
So it's.
So I looked at a few of your free videos, and you do have a lot of energy and a lot of obvious passion, right?
Yeah.
And my Spanish isn't good enough to fully understand, but I feel like you're really good at actually bringing that excitement to it, right?
Yeah.
I think to me, that is the difference between a good and a bad tutorial. It's like, even if you break down the steps, if you're able to bring the excitement and the, like, you know, I realize that what you're telling me about is something you really enjoy, which makes such a difference, because ultimately, if it looks boring, why would I want to do it?
Yeah, that's the point.
Right.
The people doesn't empathize. Empathize.
Empathize. Yeah.
Empathize. Thank you. With you, if you are like, well, hello, we are going to soon. It's like you lose them.
I have a pen.
Yeah, yeah, that's and completely.
That's awesome. So what is next? What do you have to do to make your business 10 times more successful?
Whoa, that's a good point.
Right.
Well, I'm looking those answers. I made a list with a few possible solutions. One of them is if you want to, for example, if we spoke about salary, if you want to make it twice times better, you have to be twice times with your clients. And now my clients are the people who follows me. So maybe I have to do more videos or do like that, a live session, but drawing and talking with them. So that's one of the solutions. Another is start to inviting other artists who speak in Spanish to show their art, and they can sell them then their tutorials in my website.
Yeah.
And have some benefit of those 4 or 5 years of working in having a place to join all the Spanish people who is interested in doing art.
Or guests, right?
Yeah.
Try and, at events like this, try and get people together, shoot a video with more than one person, and especially if they have a social media following, it's possible to actually piggyback on that and all that sort of thing.
So those are some of the ideas that I had. If there is anyone listen that and has a better one,
you're listening, send me an email.
Feel free, yeah.
Absolutely, that's so fun. What do you think is holding you back? So you clearly have a list of 10 things you need to do to grow it 10 times. What is stopping you from being able to make that happen?
I'm doing that interview right now.
Right.
So when I arrive to Mallorca, I will start to make those changes and try to push the project further. Yeah, bigger than what it is now.
Is this your full-time job? Is that your only source of income?
Yeah, sometimes I do some freelance.
Okay.
But I think that as an artist, it's very important have something to support you, have your own project, because I cannot hire me, I cannot fire me too. I'm with me all the time, so if my project keeps me alive, well, I can get some time to be better artist and get better jobs. It's a very a nice sentence that Craig Mullin says 2 years ago, I guess, here, is one of the best responsibilities that an artist has is care about their money. Because if you have enough money to say no to any project, you can use this time to improve and get better jobs. So that's very, 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 but that's very clever, our wisdom quote to have in mind.
No, for sure. I always saw that as a because I used to work as a photographer, and I used to take a lot of photos, and I loved it. And then I became a freelance photographer.
Oh, cool.
And I discovered I hated it.
Why?
Because other people were telling me what to take photos of, and when to take photos. And
Yeah.
it turns out, if you're doing something for money and you're doing it when somebody tells you to do and what they want you to do, that felt an awful lot like prostitution.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not sure I like this. I like it when there's a lot more freedom and a lot more kind of space to do that. Anyway, I think that is actually the end of our 25 minutes.
Oh, cool.
This kind of thing flies by.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. It was really good to talk to you.
Please, thank you.
And right now here on THU TV, we've got a really exciting treat for you guys. We've got Kim Young-gi, who is standing by in the Lenovo room to actually show you some really amazing stuff. We'll be back after that. Stay tuned.